Okay, I received a request to do a stamping tutorial, and I just want to preface this by saying I'm still very much a beginner when it comes to stamping, so I might not have all the tips and tricks, but if you're looking for a beginner's stamping tutorial, maybe this will help you. I hope so. There are plenty of good tutorials on YouTube as well, but here we go. Okay, so first, I need to make sure I have everything that I need, all the tools. I have stamping plates. I have stamping polish. I do not really recommend trying to stamp with regular polish until you have really sort of gotten the basics of how to stamp and what the different factors are. I tried stamping with mooncap polish and it did not go very well. So stamping polish, this is something that cheap that I picked up on Amazon, and a stamper. This is from a set that I got at Walmart in the store when I just decided I wanted to try stamping, and it came with a black and white stamping polish, and it came with a scraper and the stamp head. Nail polish remover and cotton. You need a scraper. Now, this is the one that came in the kit, but the thing about scrapers is finding one that's flexible enough. This is pretty inflexible. This one came in a different kit, and it's a little bit more flexible, but not, I have to push pretty hard to get it to bend. And this one's the worst. This one is, I can barely pick it up. This one's like very hard to bend. My favorite one is the most flexible one, and it is, you can see how flexible that is. This is important for not scraping too hard. If you have a really light touch, these will work, but I have issues with fine motor function, and this is the better one for me. So a scraper, I keep Scotch tape. I keep one of these grabby tools for cleaning my plates without having to mess up my nails. And what you do is you put a piece of cotton, and that way if you need to restamp, like if you didn't get a good image, then you put this in the acetone, and then you can clean the plate without messing up your nails. And then also this is for cleaning up around my edges if I need it, and some napkins to wipe. So I'm gonna do like a super simple stamp. I have a couple of plates here and I'll do a couple different designs, but I'm going to have this red Skittle because I was testing out some cream reds, and this is these are velvet. And I'm going to do this image. It's a very simple, should be pretty easy to pick up. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes, some days are better than others, to be honest with you. Like sometimes I can't get an image to pick up, and I just decide today is not the day for stamping, but let's see how this goes. Rearrange a little bit here. Okay. All right, very light pressure, and it looks like I got a pretty clean image, but I also got some extra that I don't want to get on my nails, and so that's when I take a piece of Scotch tape, okay, a bigger piece of Scotch tape, and you just pick up whatever got on there that you don't want to get on your nails. Set that aside, and you can see it's pretty clear, and I'm just gonna put this on my pinky. Using the clear stamp head, I'm trying to use that to see where to stamp. Not bad. Could be straighter. It could it could be better. Like I said, I'm a beginner. Anyway, if there's anything left, I would use the Scotch tape again to clean off the stamp head, but that was a pretty small, easy image. So now I will clean off my plate, because if I don't do it as I go, it never gets done. Done. Set that aside, set that aside, and we're ready to do another one. So I'm gonna set that plate aside. I wanted to try one of these because it's got this pretty script on here, but it's very fine. It's very tiny, and this will be a true test about whether or not I can get a good image lift. So let's do the same thing. I'm just using one color. Sometimes I use one color, sometimes I use multiple colors, but in this case, I just want to use one color to keep it simple. Barely scrape. I barely scrape. I let the card do the work and try not to put too much pressure. All right. That's a pretty good lift. It looks like a pretty good lift. Now I just want to clean off the excess with the tape, the parts that are on there that came from the next image over. And the other thing about these kind of larger images is you will get some on your fingers. I don't do liquid latex because I hate the sensation of it, but I'll show you how I clean off my overlap. Okay, so I'm gonna just gently roll that on, and not bad. That worked. Okay, so I have little extra, let me move this so you can see better. I have little pieces that are like overhanging off my nail, and I just use tape to take anything off my finger. Like there's a little bit of gold right here, you can see. I just use a piece of tape, boom, it's gone. And all on this edge, you can see that gold there, just tape. And then on the free edge, I'll just do that. Sometimes I don't get it all. I just deal with it after I do my top coat, if I do a top coat. In this case, because I have matte nails, I'm not going to do a top coat. So I'm going to use the tape, and that looks pretty good. All right, I'm going to clean off my plate using the same cotton. Acetone. Pure acetone is best. You don't want any other types of polish remover because it'll leave a film on your plate. There's still a little film, but that'll buff off if I care. I don't. And done. All right. Now this one, I wanted to do a negative image and see how well we do with that. I could do flowers. I could do this one looks tricky. Let's try it. This is probably beyond my level. It's unicorn skeletons. All right. It's probably beyond my skill set, but we'll try it. All right, so I am not happy with this lift. It doesn't show the detail, and I don't want to stamp with this. So I'm going to try one more time, and if I still can't get a good lift, I will, if I really cared, if I was like really focused on that one, I would probably try a different stamping polish or just try to be more careful. But in this case, I'm not particularly focused on that image. I'm just using it as an example. So if this doesn't work the second time, I'll move on to a different negative stamping. Let's see. I might have scraped too hard on that one. Yeah, it's all right. I don't know. Should we try it? I don't think it's very good. I'm not gonna use that, so I'm just gonna take it off and try a different image. It's a tricky one. It's probably a combination of me using the cheapest stamping polish on Amazon. This plate is a good plate. I know a lot of people really like these hit the bottle stamping plates, so I don't think it's the plate's fault. It's definitely my fault or the stamping polish's fault. Like, we could try this roses one up here and see if that works. And I'm going to try going a different direction with my polish, like this, instead of sideways. That was not a good scrape, but let's see what happened. Yeah, that was a terrible scrape. Okay. I didn't scrape it very well at all, and it left too much polish on the plate. Okay. No, that's not good. This is me. This is a me and my limitations issue. So I will move on to a different image. Okay. Let's see. I tried this one. This one's one of these two. We'll try one of these two and see what we can get. Oops, I forgot to clean off my stamp. And here we go. All right, that's a good clean image. And take away any extras. And now oops. Okay, I touched it. I got too close without being aimed, and now I probably cannot save this. I would probably need to start this nail completely over. If you have a top coat, you can sometimes wipe it off real quick, but I have a matte top coat and it's not going to work. And also tape doesn't lift it off your nail, especially if you have a matte top coat. So I can try to reposition, like to aim it, but it's not going to work very well. It's not going to look good. Oh, and I positioned, see it's too short, so I have half my nail that just the tip. Anyway, I kind of was able to to get it centered, but you can definitely see that circle where I messed up. So this is how you mess up a stamp. But that's okay. We're, like I said, I'm very much a beginner, and this kind of stuff happens to me all the time, especially with my hands so shaky. Sometimes it's really hard to aim it properly without getting too close. That's all right. Okay. And let's do this one. This one right here, it kind of goes, but it's a backwards version. Let's see how that turns out. I think these stamps are probably just a little too short, but it'll fit on that nail. Okay. So not bad. Good lift, good stamp, terrible placement. But that's okay. All right, and I did lift a little bit off my nail with the tape. So normally I try to be extra careful about not doing that, but I'm starting to get tired, and my hands are going to start shaking more, and I'm going to have less control. So I'm just going to not worry about it. And let's see. Okay. Let's do one of these lacy ones on my thumb. How about this one? Try it and see how it goes. That is a terrible, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a whole lot of extra paint left on one side. It was a terrible scrape, so I'm going to start over. Let's do a better job this time. Much better. All right, we got a good lift. I don't know if this will actually fit on my thumb. Probably should have checked that first, but let's just try it and see what happens. Yeah, this doesn't fit. It's just a little bit too short. But it was a good clean pickup. All right, so that's the end of my tutorial. Make sure you have a beverage and go to the bathroom before you sit down to do this, because it takes a while. And make sure you have all your tools ready, because if you're started, you don't want to mess up the nails getting tools out. And also make sure, like for me, it's better to paint my nails on one day and then stamp on another day, because that way I know my polish is completely cured and isn't gonna smudge or wrinkle or anything like that. And like I said, if you have a glossy top coat on, sometimes if you have a bad stamp and you've already put it on your nail, sometimes you can actually like use a very light swipe of acetone to remove the stamped image without removing your polish. All right, but that's my tutorial. All right, ciao.